Welcome back, guys. Yeah, today we're doing ball joints, not burnouts. Sorry, a little teaser. But first little clip there, that little brap against the side of the wall there, it sounded pretty good. But yeah, today we're doing ball joints in this thing. I had a kind of long story short, had an axle out back that had some EMF ball joints in it. I ended up pressing them out and taking them apart, this and that. The driver's side was a little loose. When I checked them, passenger side was great. I took them apart, and yeah, the driver's side has too much wear in the upper pin and the lower pin, but EMF ball joints, if you guys aren't aware, are fully rebuildable, down to the inner races of inside the case. This is just really big for, I say, Dodge trucks in general, and they're not a new product. They've been out for quite a while, and these ones especially were back from some of the first ones they ever made back in like 2014. So pretty cool to see the passenger side, how well they held up. Now that you can adjust their ball joints, so when they start getting loose and they take up a little clearance, you can adjust them. Biggest thing is greasing them. But yeah, they are lifetime. Not lifetime warranty, but they are lifetime ball joints. Like, you should never have to replace them if you grease them. If you notice they aren't taking grease very well, I mean, you can take them apart and clean them up. You know, they're really cool. And then to buy the new pin and everything, and to rebuild them is like a fraction of the cost of what they cost, and just great insurance for going down the road. So yeah, I'm gonna dive in and show you guys what I got going on. But yeah, the wife's truck needs ball joints, and it needs ball joints bad. I'll show you guys. It's really rough. But yeah, so good to see. I made a few shorts and a few reels about these ball joints. But so I ordered an upper and a lower rebuild kit from EMF through Dirty, and I ended up making a reel about them, and EMF reached out, and we kind of ended up with some extras, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you, EMF. I highly appreciate that customer service you guys have. But diving into this, so we got the upper pin here. So this is the case that gets pressed into your knuckle, right? And then this is your pin. So they have this collar that slides down in here, and then it does slide down in there. Anyway, it's like that. Then you got your pin. So this pin, you can see it's worn. It's all gold at the top. It's worn out, and that's strictly from a lack of grease. It has to be. They just do not wear out until they have no grease. So the cool thing about this is that all that gulling and everything is inside this race, or collar, whatever you want to call it. So that you can just take out of this knuckle. This still stays in your axle, and all you have to do is slap a new one in, put the pin in, tighten it up, you know, away you kind of go. The top you can do with the tire on. The lower one gets a little more difficult. So this is for the same driver's side one. As you can tell right there, a bunch of gulling and, you know, just lack of grease, really. It's really all it came from. This is the upper race, and then they have this nut right here, and they have a spiral lock, and then yeah, there's also a little lock or keeper right there that goes into the case somewhere right there, which just holds it, that nut tight. But that nut is what you can adjust, and you can adjust the pressure you put on the ball joint, which is just awesome. So when it wears in a little bit, you can just adjust it, tighten it up again, as long as it's not wearing. Like, obviously if you're not greasing it properly and it's wearing out, well, you don't want to just keep tightening it up. But yeah, there's an inner race in here. I don't know if you guys are going to see very well, but you can see I kind of started pulling the lip up. So there is an inner race in there, and you can pull those out, and yeah, slide a new race in there, and away you go. So I got here a new lower kit for this one, and then a new upper kit for this one. Super awesome. Yeah, these things are just awesome. So now let's get into what he sent me. So he realized when I sent him photos and we kind of were just talking back and forth, he was more intrigued about how old these are. But if you can tell, it says 7, 4, 6, 7.1, and the 0.1 stands for oversized. So they're all oversized. And he said, well, if your wife's truck, you know, if your wife's truck isn't oversized, then that's just not going to be the greatest. So he says it's a really big pain in the butt to, you know, get everything to press into that knuckle nice. So he sent me with an upper, well, first let's go off this. These are standard size lowers, which is awesome. He said the upper ones, I think these upper ones, they're easier to press in, even if they aren't oversized. So this truck's had a few set of ball joints, so I'm pretty sure the uppers will press in just fine. But these are stock size lowers. He just sent for free. That's awesome, and I really appreciate it. And then this pin, so technically I can rebuild all my ball joints here because they sent me another lower and another upper. So this upper is it's meant for right here. It says right here, stiff knuckle issues. So when you're adjusting your ball joints and you can't get the knuckle just to rotate nice and smooth, no play up and down or side to side, but just nice and smooth. Sometimes it's just the pin, or just the way your knuckle was casted originally. And yeah, apparently they've seen it quite a bit, and that pin apparently fixes the problem. So that is really nice of him. He said, yeah, if any one of your knuckles has a problem, slap that pin in there, it'll take away all your problems. So then we got another lower one for the other side, another rebuild kit. But you know, for straight, I don't know if you guys know who I am, but I love like data and how long things last and why things work and how long things can work. So I'm still going to be using the original ball joints for the, I'll put these both together on the same side, but these are, if I can get this, it's all greased in there, so it's really good shape. But see, that's the original, the good side, you could say. This is back from like 2014 era. So like that is, yeah, it's still good to go. I'm not gonna change that unless I need to. And then this one, if I can pull it out, there we go. Yeah, just the coating is a little wore off, but other than that, this thing's great. So I'm gonna be reusing those. I have no point, I just don't physically want to replace them. I highly appreciate him sending extras for that case. But yeah, I'm going to I'll tear the front apart. I don't need to show you guys how to do that. I want to show you guys what it takes to put these in, and you know, just the whole thing behind it, how to set them. Kind of just go through the process. I've watched quite a few other videos. You know, I feel like I can just relay this to you guys. And as a customer myself, I just want to experience and show it from the customer standpoint. And yeah, so let's get into these EMF ball joints. I'm super pumped, and once again, thank you EMF for sending the extras and helping the wife's rig out. Okay, don't mind the lighting, it's not great, but I just want to show you how bad these ball joints are. First off, if I spin the tire, the knuckle right here hits the top of the ball joint. You can see the whole ball joint go up and down when it goes over it. And then when you lift it up and down, oh, she's shot. Absolutely shot. Okay, so I got my dial indicator set up here. I'm gonna show you guys just quickly. So I got it set up here, and yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna preload 100 thou onto it. We'll go all the way around once, if we can. I have enough. There we go. It's 100 thou. So let's see how many thou this is actually out. Wow, over 100 thou, and then up. You guys see that? And it gives it like a 1/4 inch gap. Yeah, this thing's toast. So I just checked online, and I remember the specs, I just didn't remember off the top of my head. But there's a spec. It's 90 thou up and down, and then 60 thou side to side. Now, I don't believe I have any side to side play. Let me just give you guys a quick... I don't think so. Here. Nothing side to side, but up and down, yeah, she's right cooked. So, that's just hilarious. And back to these ball joints, I replaced these probably a month ago. Yeah, just go with the right product. Okay, so we got the joints out. This literally, since I did this not too long ago, I anti-seized everything, so this all came apart in like maybe 20 minutes. But I got the joints out. I'm gonna clean these up ever so slightly with a little bit of Scotch-Brite, just clean them up. And then, yeah, I'm gonna measure. I'll just see how the cups go, which cup I wanna put in. But, yeah, these ones had moogs in them. You can tell by those little lines there, the little shraders on the outside or whatever you wanna call it to grab the knuckle. Yeah. That usually means this is oversized, so we'll see how they all fit. Good tools goes a long ways. I have this like OMT tools. I got it from Amazon. I don't do this every day, so I didn't see myself point in doing it, like buying a nice set. But now, when I lived in the States, I would buy one from Harbor Freight, and I'm going down there in a few weeks actually, and that'll be another video. But going down there to grab some things, but I might go to Harbor Freight and buy that ball joint press just because it's meant for more of the bigger trucks or the medium duty trucks, I guess. And this, as much as it's great and it works great, and I put a lot of strain on it, the threads are great, as long as you grease them up, it's held great. But it's just not quite big enough to go like when you're in the knuckle and stuff and you're putting all the adapters, it's just not quite big enough. So, anyways, I'm gonna get these all put in here, see what we're going to go with, and explain to you the differences in that stiff pin compared to a normal pin, and why EMF doesn't include it all the time, and yeah, so let's get into that. As you can see here, we got our ball joint pressed in here, and yeah, ratchet, you don't want to use impact, just slow and steady, put your tension on there, and then with the hammer, you just tap the top and it'll slowly go down. This is an oversized upper. Oh, I'm out of breath here. It's going in pretty tight, but it's going in nonetheless. And yeah, it's kind of what she looks like. This is just from the kit. They do make their own that sit on this lip, but this sits flat on the top. I don't know. It's the best I got for what I got here. But make sure this isn't digging too much into this knuckle, or please just, yeah, whatever you need to do to make sure that doesn't happen. But they're going in, and this is without the pin or anything, which is actually really nice, having this just the case. Yeah, you don't need the pin, you don't have to worry about all that, you can put it all in after. So that's what we're gonna do. So indeed, this little one just fit just over top of that. So that was actually nice. Didn't really mar up this too much, nor did it do any damage to the top of that. But now, we can put our pin and everything in. So that's in. I'll do the pin after and explain the differences in a tight knuckle pin and not. I'm gonna get the bottom one in here first and see which we're gonna use, the smaller or the bigger one. All right, so this is the oversized, oh my. This is the oversized one. It starts in there, and because this one's oversized, I'm just gonna put the oversized in. This is also the original one. I just love to keep these as a set. But I highly appreciate setting out this. So that could work as well. It does fit in there a little bit farther. But being this is the set, and then also with the calipers here, let me get you set up here. Too, so we're not talking precision here. But let's get here. So this is the old one that is bigger. So it is 1.81 and a half, probably, somewhere around there. and then this is the non-oversized, is about 1.8 and a half ish, around there. So they're about, yeah, they're hardly even a thou difference, but just enough that it'll make this easier to pound in if you had to. And then if it's looser, then this one being a little bit bigger works too. So I'm going to take this race out in there, as you can see. I'm going to take that destroyed race and replace it, and we'll put this thing in there. Make sure that this set screw is pointed towards the back. Let me get some light. See this one? I got it to where it's pointed towards the back. So we'll do the same here. That also makes sure that there's just no dirt gets in it from the front. And make sure the grease nipple also doesn't get dirt or anything. So put that in like that, and I'll catch up when we get this bad Larry in there. Okay, boys and girls. So this is the old one, and this is the new one. As you can tell, this is not chewed up down there. So I got this race out. I even needed 3 little tacks right there to get it out. It was in there good. Now these are made to sit in there. A sec here. Let's get some light on there. They're made to be in there and be able to spin in there. So it's not like it spun in there and it created a problem. The problem was that it spun in there without grease. So this still fits in there, great, and it spins no problem too, if I can get it to spin in there. It's just so hard because it's so dark. Anyways, I'm running it. I messaged Clay over at EMF, and he said, yeah, he said I'd run it. You take up the play and with the nut, this nut here, I'll take up the play. So I'm going to put a new joint in here and a new race, and we'll run it. So that just shows how much these things can kind of wear. You see there's quite a bit of wear in there and like a little bit of gulling and stuff. But I took it and I cleaned it up as much as I can. And just so there's no major lips or anything. And yeah, I'm gonna put this back together. This is one of the OGs, so sweet. I'm gonna show you guys, I got the bottom in here. I'm gonna show, doesn't really focus very well, but right up in there, you want to make sure it actually touches the knuckle. There's a point there where I was looking at it and just like a little tiny little sliver of daylight you could see. So I'm gonna make sure that ball joint gets sat up nice and flush with that knuckle there. So anyways, we got that in there. That's that old one that had the spun race in it. Put the new race in, everything else from the bottom up, and the top, put that all in, and yeah, go over that whole top knuckle. So apparently the Dodge with where is it? 2 pins. This is for stiff knuckles. This is for just a normal knuckle. So if you put this pin in and your knuckle is stiff, you cannot get it to loosen up. Then you need to get this pin to put it in. That's not anything's fault. It's not EMF's fault. That is strictly your truck has an axle that is out of alignment right from the get-go. Now, since these tolerances and everything are pretty spot on a perfect axle, that's where you run into this problem, and that's why they made this. So they made this, it's kind of a different recipe to that. What this is, it's technically a little looser to make a stiffer knuckle looser, but if you were to put this into a standard knuckle, it would be even a little bit looser. Now, not to say it's a problem at all, and it's not going to affect the way you drive, the way your tires wear, nothing. It's just going to be a little bit looser, and that's where Clay said he just never heard the end of it. And people just kept complaining, oh, my ball joints are wearing this and that, and you know, the only solution is to, well, they just offer it in 2 different ways. So apparently he said the 4th and 5th gens are just way worse, and he's made a completely different upper ball joint that technically wears, but the how easy it is to replace the upper and how it can save the lower just so much longer. It's kind of just the way it is. That it's nothing to do with, nobody can make a perfect ball joint. It is strictly the fact that these trucks just do not come with the exact same knuckles every single time, and how is one supposed to ever compete with that, right? So the fact that they've engineered parts that make it work with whatever you have is just awesome, and from there technically you should never ever have to worry about it again. So going forward with this all, I'm just going to try the original pins, see how they work, and if they work great, sweet. If not, well then I have a stiff upper pin. And yeah, it's super cool. They even make a sleeve that goes inside the axle to sleeve down your ball joint if it wears out. It's just, they have every single recipe you need to fix your axle and your ball joint problems. So that is one thing about EMF, hands down, greatest guys out there. They truly are here for the people, and to stop this problem once and for all. So there you go. That's that little thing I want to show you on the two different upper pins. You got a stiff and you got the normal. Sweet. Back for another day. I got the bottom ball joint in, and I'm going to go over just what kind of grease. I lubed it a little bit. They tell you not to grease it until the knuckle's on and you're moving it side to side. But you want to use a good grease that has 5% moly. That's what they say. It says ball joints must be fully greased after install with a 5% moly grease and at every oil change, or sooner if required. So yeah, this doesn't say it has 5% moly on it, at least on this package, but when you look it up, this synthetic EP2 grease from Chevron, the Delo stuff, it does. Yeah, that stuff is what I use for the front end for everything. I used it back when we did, when I worked in the service truck. That's all we ever had for equipment and such. So I'll show you what I got done, or I got to last night. So we got lower ball joint in, the whole pin. So you don't want it to be any tighter than that, and you don't want to be any looser. So if you like rotate it like that and it comes and it swings back, just make sure that this is just like this, nice and firm, but like, I don't know, but very loose still, I guess. So got that one in, and then now I'll slide the upper in, and yeah, this side you can just put the knuckle on, make sure it slides nice side to side, and away we go. So this side's about done, and move on to the next. And yeah, anyways, this is been a cool learning experience, just how these EMFs work and the future of taking care of them and everything. So yeah, pretty sweet, pretty pumped. That these spiral locks, now as much as it is very, very nice to put the case inside the axle without the pin or anything in, the spiral lock, once you learn how to, maybe just practice it a couple times on the bench before you do it when it's upside down in the truck. I got pretty frustrated with it, but when I figured it out, it was actually very easy. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Just make sure you practice on the bench first, just so you know how the spiral lock goes in and what it feels like. But yeah, I'm gonna throw these ball joints in, the hub on, maybe just get this side buttoned up, move to the other side. Just sitting here, tighten this top one, and I was using EMF's spanner wrench that they sent me. But I hope you know, if you take your grinder spanner wrench, oops, you just take your grinder, it doesn't fit the holes, but you can just go like that. It works just fine. So you put one in the hole, the other one on the outside, just go like that. Works just as good. This is nice as well though, having this, just it's like that. But anyways, you can indeed use your grinder one that's meant to go for your grinder. Yeah, got some better lighting now. Some flicker on us. So this upper nut, I think they come with a setup nut. Just because if you have the nylock on there, it just spins the pin. Anyways, I cut that one off because I didn't have a setup nut. So this is the old nut. Got our new nuts right here. But you want to tighten that to get this pin tight in this upper knuckle here. And then down here, the same, I cut the bottom nylock off the old nut and made that. So these are now tight. We got our set screws in the back. I swapped this out to a 90. I would love it to be facing backwards, but this is where it got tight. But it's usually nice, instead of holding your grease gun like this, you can just, and then yeah. So we're going to, it's quite stiff right now, but we're gonna torque it up, grease the bottom, grease the top, and just see it, the grease will kind of push this up and down just where it wants to sit. So we get it all greased up and everything, and then sometimes if it's still stiff, we'll figure it out. Everything torqued. This is a 15/16 torqued to 70 foot-pounds. Then this is a 1/1/16 and torqued to 150 foot-pounds. So now, got this. It's a little stiff. Watching from the videos, I should be able just to flick it, and it goes woo, and just flick it. So, yeah, I don't know if I loosen that a bit, or if I should, I don't know, maybe I'll just add grease to it and go from there. I'll maybe check back the videos. I'll let you know what I do. Yay, so touched nothing else, all torqued. All I did was grease the lower, and I greased the upper, and yeah. You don't want it to be stiff, but it's just nice and moves freely. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. The lower one, I don't think grease came out of that. No, it just got really tight. And then the upper one, grease started coming out of there. And on this 90, I had one of these little caps. It just pops on. Actually, pretty hard to pop. So see how long that lasts, but that'll just keep dirt from coming in there. And yeah, I'm excited. So this side can go back together. We'll see if we have any problems with the other side. I'll let you guys know if I do. But yeah, here you go. That's your EMF ball joints. And man, it does feel solid, that's for sure. Sweet. There you go. Guys, ran into a bit of a snag over here. This lower ball joint, the set I had was one oversized, which I put in that one, and then I had one standard, and well, the standard one, it pressed in fairly easy, and then I could went like this in the top, and the whole ball joint moved down a bit, so it wasn't in there very tight at all. Then I grabbed one of the other sets that he sent me, which are still standard size, and it pressed in and I hit it and it wouldn't go down. So he said push it back out and clean it all up and red Loctite, put it back in. If not, it'll need an oversized case. But to show you, you see this line right there? Oh, you guys aren't gonna see it very well. One sec. See that little like cut in that case right there? There's a little groove. That means it's oversized. These ones, this was that used one that I was gonna put in. See how it doesn't have that? So that's how you can tell if these are oversized or not. Also on the top it says 7467. It should have 0.1. Well, this one I assumed it just the 0.1 since it has that mark there when I took it out. I just thought the 0.1 was gone, but no. This one, 7467, and then yeah, they don't have that line right here. So I'm gonna try that red Loctite. If it doesn't work, well then, well, hopefully it works. But if we were having problems, then I will be putting a lower ball joint back in there. So this is just something, this is the only reason I'm running into this, because I'm using a used set of ball joints. Like if this was a new truck, you would, or not a new truck, but if this was a used truck you're putting ball joints in, take a look at what ball joints are in there. If they're Moog and they have all those little, I don't know what you want to call them, all these little lines on the ball joint they have like that knurling, and that knurling really takes up that that little bit of like that 1 thou difference between the oversized and the standard. It really creates that weakness there. So just something to note. If you guys get into this too, I mean, it's kind of a gamble, I guess. I would probably prefer an oversized set, and then have to, like, say, take sandpaper or something and just kind of clean that out, and, you know, take a little material away, over getting a standard set and then it just not working at all. I'm gonna run this. I'm a guy that, I mean, I have a front axle out back. If I have to slam the front axle in this thing because I destroy that joint, well, it is what it is. This is all in the name of science and content. So if this fails, well, I'm sure you guys will hear it first. So anyways, that's the little update here. I'm throwing in one of the new lower cases that he sent me with red Loctite. I brake cleaned both sides of the case, the outside of the case and then the inside of the knuckle there, and I'm gonna put it in there. We'll hope for the best. So we got it all back together. Steering's on. Just wanted to tell you the torque for that. I use an 1 3/4 socket. It's a little loose on there, but it works. This is 130, and spin it around 5 times one way, spin around the other way, and then 250 foot-pounds. So is the final torque. Easiest way is just to put 2 lug nuts back on, and then just grab a bar like this, prop it up in there, and then you can pry the opposite way. Won't spin on you. And then this is a 21 mil, I believe. Yeah, 21. And that's 75 foot-pounds, both sides. So there you go. But yeah, these ball joints are in there. We're gonna see how long they last. Well, obviously we know how long they last. So recap, this side I want it to be the original good side. I ended up using that newer lower case because it fits tighter with a lot of Loctite. And I used the old pin and races and everything for that. And then the upper one is all original from 2014, case, everything. So this whole side is completely OG. Well, not completely, but pretty much. And then this side, the things that wear over there are OG. The case, I mean, the case can be reused, so everything over there is fully OEM from 2014. And then this side is, the cases are both original, and now this, like we said, was a lower oversized, and then this is a just standard upper. Yeah, so we got, or I guess they only ever come, I think, standard uppers. I don't know, I'd have to check on that actually. Actually, no, that has that little groove in it right there, so that is a oversized upper as well. So anyways, we got, the cases are original, but we have 2 new pins. So we have an upper new pin and a lower new pin. So yeah, this is obviously gonna last my wife a lifetime. I don't really ever expect to make a video on this again unless that lower case has a problem. I'll make a video on that. But yeah, this ball joint right here, no bueno, plastic broken side. Yeah, don't buy those. Don't buy anything but EMF, honestly. But yeah, these are tight. I was talking to Clay too about that whole lower case thing, and just explaining how this one was a little tighter than the other one. And he said, well, push it back out, Loctite it, push it in, leave it. So this is all stout. I'm excited. This is the original wheel bearing on this side too. The truck has 240,000 K on it. So, I don't know, pretty impressed with that. And then front steering wise, I did a aluminum steering pump on my dually and a 6-bolt steering box. This truck came with a factory aluminum steering pump, but did not come with a 6-bolt box. That is a very big upgrade for you guys. Maybe I should make a video on that one day. And then also the steering wise, this is the T-style steering. It came factory, this truck. This is still factory steering. I have taken the boots off and greased up, since these are not greasable. I have greased them just because I'm crazy that way, I guess. But this is really stout steering from Dodge, actually. It holds up very well as long as you have you know, everything else isn't abused. Track bar, I don't even know if it's original or even aftermarket. I've never even touched it. It hasn't given me problems. It does have a, whatever you want to call it, a steering box brace on it. But yeah, the front end on this thing is now fairly solid. And we're gonna give it a go. Got some Philistines in there, and yeah, sweet. Well, there you go, y'all. Got some nice tight front ends again. I think with that ball joint being loose, might not be able to see it. You're not gonna be able to see it. But it took out that seal, I think. Unless it was just the way it put pressure on the seal, but I'm pretty sure that axle seal going to the diff is it's leaking. And as you saw in the video, how that U-joint would go like this. Well, I think that's why it's leaking, is because it would put that shaft in an angle. So I don't know if it was on an angle. I don't know if it wore it enough. We'll see. But I might have to rip this whole diff apart again to. I just changed fluid in the front diff too, so that kind of sucks. But depending how bad it leaks, I might just have to pull it all apart again, drop the pinion out, or the carrier out, change the seals, and yeah. Anyways, they're never any project. Every truck is. So that's it for this video. If you guys find this helpful, leave it down in the comments if there's anything I can help you with. I'm more than willing to help. And yeah, EMF ball joints. They're the only way to go. They're the only way to go. They're super, super good customer service over there. Clay is the guy I've been dealing with. Pretty sure he's the owner. Amazing guy. And yeah, anyways, that's the rebuild on these EMF ball joints that are from 2014. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if there's any videos you guys want to see. Anyways, peace.